The artwork for Anime Podcasters is provided by GoProkyo. Please go follow him at GoProkyo. Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. Today, we have our awesome host, Hotshot, with us. How's it going, Hotshot?
It's going. How are you? Good to be here. You basically pay me to be here at this point because I'm the only one who shows up nowadays.
Great. Now they know. Thanks. That's a great start for the new episode.
Hey, my job is to ruin your reputation. I think I'm doing just fine.
We're going to be talking about anime death battles. So, Hotshot and I both have a list of 5 anime death battles we would love to see happen. We're going to go through them. We're going to analyze them, break them down, and we're going to have a great podcast. Before we get into that, Hotshot, how have you been? Just let us know how the good life has been, the ginger life. How's it going?
And the ginger life has been treating me very well. I'm actually in the middle of getting a video of my own up and going on my channel, so... been a little busy
Exciting
with that.
Exciting
times. Big times. Big times.
Hey guys, there's a link to his channel in the description, just so you know. And before we get into this, I just want to let you guys know that remind you guys that Anime Podcasters, you can download the podcast on SoundCloud.com/JaianMusic, and the podcast is also on iTunes. It's all free download, so you don't have to watch the video version all the time. People ask me sometimes if they can download the podcast. Absolutely, and you can have it on your phone wherever you are. You can have us in your ears talking while you commute to work or while you're on break and you're eating a snack. All right, so.
I don't know why you'd want us in your ears, but I'm happy to be listened to.
Yes, I'm glad to be in your ears right now as you're biting your chocolate bar. Anyways,
ASMR lovers, anyone?
Yeah. Okay, so before we discuss what the death battles we've chosen and everything, I want to get into this with you, Hotshot. What went into making your list of anime death battles? Like, what was the key factors here at play when you were making your list of death battles?
My key factor is probably like fighting types or character types that are kind of in the same vicinity, but not in the same universe. So, like, if someone is fighting with the swords, then I'd want someone else who fights them with a sword. Or if someone's a gunslinger, then I want them to fight off against another gunslinger, that kind of thing.
Okay, so you can categorize your characters and like the same attribute. If they share attributes, it'd be interesting to see like what would happen, right? Is
yeah,
what you're saying?
Because if they share the same attributes, like they have the same general understanding of the same field, for example, then theoretically they should be able to give each other a pushing point towards that fight. I mean, I'm not gonna have someone like, say, Choji go up against Kuro Sensei. That's just not gonna happen.
That would not. No, I don't think that would be a good matchup. Okay,
Kuro Sensei wins. Myself, let's just be honest. I'm talking Gen 1 Choji though. That's the thing.
Okay, I don't know about like Choji grows up and Shippuden and everything, and then there's
Boruto that Choji might actually give him a fight, but Gen 1 Choji, Kuro Sensei wins.
Yeah, no. I mean, that spiky human boulder won't go far.
No.
All right. For me, I tried to one rule I gave myself is if I picked one character from one universe, I didn't want to use that universe ever again. So let's say I picked Goku to be in a fight, I wouldn't pick anybody else from Dragon Ball. That was one rule I gave myself, which made picking characters so hard. Like you think like I host this podcast for like 28 episodes now. I watched all these anime series. You think it'd be like really easy to like find like 5 death battles like that with like one universe different all the time. No, it was very, very hard.
If we did that and we have 5 death battles, right? That would be at least 10 different animes.
Yes, it would. Yes, it was. That's correct. And another thing that went into me picking these battles as well would be I tried to like make them as even in power as possible. Like I used a site called VS Battles Wiki. It's a really great resource. I mean, factually not always correct. Yeah, that's the thing. But it's pretty decent. So I would like look at a character, look at its tier, and examine other characters within that tier, and then I'd be like, oh, that would be a good matchup. So like it's not always gonna be 2 swords fighters or two magicians or 2 this or 2 that. So yeah, that's basically it. But Hotshot, how about you kick us off finally with your very first battle? I'm actually really curious to see what you're gonna pick.
All right. So, like I told you before, death battles are kind of my jam when it comes to anime stuff. I may not know a whole lot about anime characters, like, let alone, like, next to you. But what I do know is that I think Zoro from One Piece and Satsuki from Kill la Kill would make a pretty good fight.
Oh, okay. Zoro from One Piece. I have not watched Kill la Kill. So, please get into it for me. I'll give my 2 cents after.
So Kill la Kill, Kyo would be a whole bunch of different information on this one because I barely watched it. But from what I have watched, Satsuki is basically the student council president, I believe she is. And she's a swordswoman. She's the most powerful in the academy. Like, even being in her presence, basically every single person in the academy will bow to her and, like, not screw with her at all. Except for our main protagonist, I can never pronounce her name right. Ryoko? I think Ryoko. Anyway.
Just go with it.
Going with Ryoko. So she's the only one to challenge her, and she, I believe, gets like one tiny splash of blood on Satsuki, and everyone, and by everyone I mean the entire academy, gasps. So I've seen her fight once because I'm still watching the anime, but she is a total powerhouse, especially when she uses her sword. Her sword is able to basically chop through any weapon, no matter what kind it is, or damage any type of clothing, because in Kill la Kill, your power is basically granted by your clothing. Like a Goku level 1 up to a Goku level 3, and I believe hers is a 5-star. And there's 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, etc. And I believe 5 is as high as you can go without going into a living life fabric, which eventually she does and gets even more powerful because of it.
All right, and I mean, for Zoro, we've seen him compete already once on Death Battle, and he won that battle. It was a very good fight. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. That battle came out ages ago, so honestly, if I'm spoiling you, wow.
Who did he fight again? I can't remember exactly.
It was from Fairy Tail. It was the redhead. I have not watched Fairy Tail. I don't remember the name.
Was it Natsu? It couldn't have been Natsu.
No, it wasn't. It was a girl.
Redhead girl from... Oh, it was Urza. Okay, Zoro and Urza. Yeah.
Yes, it was Urza.
Yeah,
yes.
That makes more sense. But we've seen Zoro compete in Death Battle before, and we've seen him even more epic on One Piece, where he uses his patented 3-sword technique, 1 in the mouth, 2 in his hands, and fighting off swords. And then eventually in the series, he actually trains under the swordsman that actually beat him. The one who actually gave him, I believe, his scar, like his scar on his eye. Do you remember that?
Right. Yeah.
And it made Zoro vow to never lose. And I think like 3 years later, he trained under him and gotten even more powerful with more wind techniques with his sword. And now he has a 1-sword fighting style on top of his patented 3 style. So there's a whole lot more different techniques and everything that he can use. The only reason I paired him with Satsuki, other than them both being sword masters, is the fact that her moves are literally able to, like, one slash of hers can blow an enemy into a wall at least. And Zoro is able to make, like, twisters and move really fast and hack and slash moves. I just think that it would constantly be blocking on the offensive for both of them. It would just, like, be clashing until one person got one lucky strike.
Actually, it's really funny that you picked that fight, because on the VS Battles wiki, there is a thread discussing this exact matchup, and they're saying it's inconclusive. And I'm looking at their stats, like their speed is very similar, their stamina is very similar, their range is very similar. Like they really all land in the field where it's difficult to pinpoint who wins. Like this is one for a Death Battle. I think this is actually what I would put in the Death Battle slot. It looks I can't pick a winner between these two. It's crazy.
Disclaimer on me for this. I actually had no idea that was actually being talked about. That was just one that I came up with in my head.
Well, you have a mind of the people, Hotshot.
I like this. I like this a lot. I like being one with the peeps. Love
all right,
me,
was
peeps.
that everything you was that everything you had to say, Hotshot?
That's everything I got on this one, yeah. You, on the other hand, were having a struggle time trying to find your fight, so I want to see what you got.
All right, so my first fight is one that I think it would be very, very interesting. These people are both human levels, but they're both strong fighters. I would say Levi from Attack on Titan versus Zuko from The Last Airbender.
Really?
Yeah. What's that response? You don't like it?
No, well, it's not that. It's the fact that this is anime podcasters, right?
Right.
Avatar isn't an anime.
I mean, it's considered to be an anime.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we literally have an episode of Avatar that we've done.
Oh, well, go on.
No, but okay. But matchup wise, what?
I mean, I won't really fight you on this because it's not really a whole big thing to get in the middle of. I just was surprised by Zuko was your choice for this one.
Well, I don't know. Like, what do you think about this lineup? You are a huge fan of Avatar. You've seen Zuko in action. I mean, as is it the Blue Beast? I think his when he wears that mask.
The Blue Spirit.
The Blue Spirit. Thank you for correcting that. And he's obviously a very good sword fighter. So is Levi. These are very strong fighters. They're obviously Zuko has his fire bending, has the ability to redirect lightning. Obviously, there's not gonna be any lightning. That technique's not gonna be in use at all. But like he is a very strong fighter, and so is Levi. Levi, when you see him fighting against Annie as a Titan, he is chopping her up like super quickly. He is insanely fast. He's way faster than Zuko, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, but sorry to interrupt you, but here's my two cents.
Go ahead.
Levi, usually when we see him fight, he's fighting against the Titans, right? That includes using his zip lines to get around something bigger than him, and the hit points that he's going for are really big. Like, even if he's going against disabling Annie, for example, the legs, the arms, and everything, even though they can be hardened, they're really big targets. It's not a hand-to-hand fight. And I'm not saying that Zuko and Levi would be a hand-to-hand, but it would be basically on foot, or if they are using zip lines, I think Levi's going to have a much harder time hitting Zuko because it's a much smaller target than a Titan.
What if Levi attacks Zuko during a solar eclipse? Oh, how about that, Hotshot?
Well, then that's not a death battle. That's not fair.
I'm just asking, what do you think?
If he attacks him in a solar eclipse, then yeah, Levi's going to win. I mean, sure, Zuko knows martial arts when his bending is taken away. I mean, he hardly ever uses... Actually, the more I think about it, Zuko might actually still stand a chance, because when he's the Blue Spirit, when he's a sword fighter, he doesn't use his firebending hardly at all.
No, that's true. But now that I think about it, remember when Zuko was fighting Azula, and Azula directed that lightning right at Katara, and Zuko took the hit?
Yeah.
Okay, Zuko was fast enough to take that hit, like at the speed of lightning. So I don't know, like just like comparing like Levi's mobility gear and how fast he can how fast he can move. I don't know if he's as fast as lightning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, lightning will hit him and burn. Like, yeah, it'll hit and burn and goes through like it does in Avatar.
I'm talking about his speed. He was like his reflexes to like get in the way.
But Levi, with his speed, he's actually slashing at you like something that will cut through you. So if he gets a good enough hit, he will take off an arm or torso or anything like that. Plus, if you remember, I believe the Attack on Titan gear, I believe their coats and everything are immune to burning because the Titan's blood burns, doesn't it?
I do not recall that being a thing.
Or, no. Okay, well, disclaimer, I'm actually talking on that from the game logic, because when you're covered in blood, it just steams off you, and I don't know why. I just thought that the uniforms work that way.
Maybe in further anime seasons and stuff like that. I mean, the third season I watched, and it wasn't like that, at least. And at least I didn't have that much action.
I could be right, but don't take my words in concrete here. Like,
no, for sure.
Like, don't write my words in stone, I mean.
So, who would you give this one to?
I'm still going to have to say Zuko. Because even though...
Levi, bro. Levi is very strong. I think you're sleeping on Levi.
Okay, so you're leaving it on Levi?
I think Levi would have a better chance of winning. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, from what I've seen from both of them, I'm still going to say Zuko, but I'd still say either one of them would have a pretty tough fight ahead of them.
Oh, for sure. I think this is a really good like fight that could happen. This would be interesting to see what would happen in this one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, that's going to be that. Your turn, Hotshot.
All right, so there are a couple characters from one series that I'm about to pick that have been really heavily used in Death Battle, and the one I'm actually using has been used in Death Battle before, and spoilers, she won. And that would be Yang Xiaolong from Ruby versus Killer Bee. No, not Killer Bee, I'm sorry. The Raikage from Naruto.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow. How do you come up with these?
I told you, really death battles are my thing.
Okay, yeah, get into it.
Okay, so I'm gonna get into Yang first because I like Ruby a lot. So Yang uses these gauntlets that can either shoot shotguns or she can have really high powered punches. And the more damage that she takes, she actually can project it back onto her enemies. So say you slap her across the face, it makes her stronger. Like, she will eventually get to the point where it's just a boiling rage, like a Wolverine kind of Furo rage kind of thing, where she will just go into a blood rage and just beat and shoot and basically tear everything apart around her, especially if you mess with her hair. And when she does that, she can move really fast using her gauntlets to shoot her off into space, not space, speed, where she just like bursts around and eventually lands one hook on you and you're gone. And the reason I'm putting her against the Raikage is because the Raikage fights in a very similar style, where his attacks are very heavily fist-based, where he can use lightning to charge, he can dash, he basically pounds everything into the dirt. The only difference is that Yang can shoot shotgun shells from hers, and I don't think the Raikage shoots anything from his fist unless he somehow does a shockwave enough for a lightning bolt. But the more I talk about it, the more I want to see these two go head to head too.
Are you referring to the third Raikage, like A, or are you?
I'm referring to A. Yeah, I probably should have cleared that up. Killer Bee's brother is
fourth
the Raikage I'm talking about.
I mean, Ruby, I have not seen a lot about, but like the obviously I'm a huge Naruto fan, so I've seen the Raikage in action, especially when at the Kage Summit when he was fighting against Sasuke. Obviously, a very very fast and very powerful ninja, like with his lightning shield and everything. His lightning ninjutsu is one of the most powerful in the entire series. What is Ruby's resistance to lightning? And all of her series, was there a moment where she encountered an enemy with lightning or had to deal with lightning attacks?
The only one that I can think of, because all of Ruby has a substance called dust, which is in its essence a element in the form of a vial that you can put in your weapons and use. Like Ruby herself actually uses electric dust for her shots sometimes. But with Yang,
like to paralyze enemies and stuff?
Yeah, and takes down enemies, like, because what Ruby does, this is just a little bit of on the other character. Ruby will actually put a clip of electric dust into her sniper rifle and shoot, and it emits a high-powered shot, like, just tears through the air into everything else, and it's just a high-impact shot. I don't think Yang has really used electricity in her dust or anything before, and the only thing that I can think of when she might have dealt with electricity was when her and her team dealt with a golem. But electric zaps, if that keeps hitting her, like I said before, it's just gonna power her up because she gets stronger the more that people hit her. That's her semblance. Everyone in Ruby has a semblance, a unique trait, and hers is basically the more you hurt her, the worse she's gonna hurt you.
Okay, I see what you mean. The thing is with the Raikage, he's like he easily gets angry. That's like one of his weaknesses. He's like he's very much like quick to anger and like quick to jump into battle. Like impulsive would be a good word to describe him when in battle.
Well, so is she. So is Yang. Yang can get pretty hot-headed too.
And the other thing with the Raikage is that Sasuke used a Matarasu on him, the burning flames, and it cut off one of his arms. So the Raikage, if I'm not mistaken, only has one arm. So that's a huge thing. If I'm correct, that's a huge thing.
But if you're wrong, that's still equaling the battlefield here.
Like, I know he cut off his arm at one point, unless like they used like some medical ninjutsu or some Hashirama cells to get that arm back. Like he doesn't have his arm anymore.
I'll be honest, from the canon series, I'm actually not sure if that's accurate or not, because the canon series I kind of stopped, and I'm getting all my information from the game. But
right.
I do know that the Raikage still came after Naruto after the whole incident with the Kage Summit. And
right. And the moment where he attacks Naruto and Naruto dodges it.
Yeah, and he said that Naruto is the second ninja ever to dodge his fastest punch, second only to his father.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the fourth Hokage.
Yeah.
Yes. Another really good fight. I have a feeling my guts tell me Ruby would take this one.
Wait, are you saying this is a really good fight, or are you just carrying along?
No, I'm saying this is a really good fight, and I think Ruby would take it.
You think Yang would take it? Why's that?
How is Yang comparing to Ruby, like in terms of speed specifically?
In terms of speed, honestly, Raikage has her beat like into a grave. Like Yang can move fast, especially when she uses her shells to project her forward. And when her rage, I think her speed will like double. But I don't think she can move anywhere near as fast as the Raikage. But I feel like her punches and her brute force would at least match him regardless. I mean, in my personal opinion, I'd still probably have to give this fight to Raikage due to the huge speed advantage. But if it came to just power where, like, say they had a divider on the speed and it was completely equal, if it was on that, then I feel like I'd have to give it to Yang. But with all things considered how they are now, I feel like I'm giving it to Raikage. I'm giving it to A.
Yeah, reading over what I'm seeing from Yang here, she has the semblance wreathed in flames.
Wrapped in flames?
Yang's, yeah, wreathed in flames. I am so tired this hour. Yang's semblance is the ability to absorb energy from the damage she's taken. So that's a huge thing. She's able to absorb energy from the damage she takes. If the Raikage is coming at her, coming at Yang with a bunch of ninjutsu attacks, that might be an issue for, like, if she can absorb all that energy.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like anyone else, she can only take so much.
So you think the Raikage can output more than she can take?
The more I think about it, I am actually gonna have to say no, because the Raikage delivers it all in one forceful punch. If it was a quick rapid succession of attacks, then maybe. But since his attacks are actually more slow as opposed to his actual speed, then she might actually have a chance because she'd have a chance to compose herself and get ready for the next incoming attack. So with that twisting the tables, I'm actually going to have to reverse my decision and give it to Yang.
I'm sticking with the Raikage on this one.
All right, fair enough. All right, and that's all we got on those two. So you want to go ahead with hit number 2?
What if Yang fights the Raikage during a solar eclipse? Okay, my turn.
I'd still say Yang. Solar eclipses are quite common in Ruby.
Okay. My next one is, I can't go a podcast without mentioning this anime, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Of course.
I'm taking the main character from Yu Yu Hakusho. You thought I was going to say something else. I know, but I'm not going to say it. I'm really trying hard here. I'm going to take Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'm going to take Vash the Stampede from Trigun. This is an anime death battle that I really think would be interesting. Obviously, both gun users. I think Yusuke's gun in this situation would be a bit more powerful. I don't know, maybe with Vash's final gun at the end of Trigun. Hotshot, have you seen Trigun?
Yeah, and I finished it. Trust.
Yes.
If you live with Kyokai, trust me. Yes, you're going to see Trigun.
You have no choice. I really think that this would be an interesting fight. They're obviously both very skilled fighters. Yusuke trains so hard, and his spirit energy is one that is going through the roof by the end of the series. He's a demon and everything. And Vash's battle with his brother at the very end of Trigon was one that really displayed his amazing power. Speed wise, range wise, like, these guys are pretty even all across the board. The whole thing with Vash, though, is obviously the fact that he doesn't want to hurt or kill anyone. Has a very hard time with that. That's something that definitely goes into Yusuke's checkbox. I mean, I don't know if we make it a death battle, if it's like he's mindless and he's just going to attack no matter what. But still, this would be a very interesting fight, in my opinion. What about you, Hotshot? What do you think of this lineup?
With Vash going up against Yusuke, honestly, my knowledge on Yusuke is very, very limited. The only attack that I know that he has is his spirit gun, which is his finger gun move, right?
Exactly.
Okay, and and what's probably the biggest aspect of damage that you've seen the spirit gun do?
I would say at this point, it's a really, really tough call. He's done some insanely huge spirit guns that, like, have taken out mountains and, like, definitely, like, taken out, like, big enemies, like Toguro being one of them. it's like some very very strong
Has he destroyed an
battling.
entire city with it? And on
Let me
top of
try to
that,
recall
has he
this.
done it accidentally?
Upon revival, he's considered to a threat to destroy an entire country. Feeds from his fight against Sensui backed up this statement, combined with knowledge from the Raikai super weapons. Oh, this is actually interesting when I think about it. Yusuke has like some very very incredible feats. He's obviously a very strong fighter, and from what I'm trying to recall here, I'm seeing this article saying that his potential is 50 teratons. I don't even know what that means. But there's this huge thread I'm seeing right here saying that he could be able to take out a small country in his Ryzen form. The Ryzen being his ancestor from thousands and hundreds of years ago, who was like one of the three kings, which are like the ultimate beasts in Yu Yu Hakusho, like the ultimate fighters. So that's that. I would say small country at the very best for his
For the very best? Power. Okay. Here's the thing with Vash. He's destroyed an entire city, but the catch is that he did it by complete accident. So my theory for that is, if Vash is actually trying, how much could he actually destroy? Because I feel like that move of his would be more powerful than what Yusuke could dish out.
Oh, that's really hard.
And there's something else too. And spoilers if anyone hasn't finished Trigun, but it's been out for years now. After Wolf and wait, have you finished Trigun?
Yeah. Go ahead.
After Wolfwood dies, Vash starts carrying around Wolfwood's cross. So Vash now has all of Wolfwood's weapons on top of his own.
I have a feeling that Vash would win this.
I'm leaning on Vash heavily because I've seen his alien arm cannon, what it can do. I know all of Wolfwood's weapons and what they can do, and how good of a shot Vash is when he actually tries shooting. I'm pretty heavily leaning on Vash, but I might just be saying that as well because I actually don't really know Yu Yu Hakusho that much. But from what I do know from both of them, I'm still leaning on Vash on Trigun on this one.
No, I am as well. I do think Vash would win this at the end of the day. Yes.
Yes?
Yes, as in, that's all I have to say, sorry.
Okay, I'm like, yes, what do you mean? Your favorite anime character of all time is dead. by our judgments, I mean. Oh wait, speaking of your favorite anime character of all time, and how this works its way into every single anime death battle of all time, I'm picking L from Death Note.
Oh my god.
As well as, yeah, I had a feeling you'd say that. As well as Monokuma from Danganronpa series. And here's why. L is a very heavily refined detective when it comes to analyzing crimes and analyzing who's behind everything. He figured out that Light, or at least had a hunch that Light was Kira before anyone would even know the name Kira, from what I've seen. And I'm picking Monokuma because it's a mystery. Because Monokuma is the object, but there's a mastermind behind it. So if L figures out who's masterminding behind Monokuma, then dealing whoever that is would probably be a cinch for him. So it's basically, can the ultimate detective figure out the ultimate mystery? So I'm kind of cheating a little bit on this death battle, but I honestly think it would still count.
I'm trying to see, like, would they fight each other? Or are they playing chess? What's this battle?
Are they playing chess?
I'm just saying, bro.
No, they aren't playing chess. Like, at the very least, I would twist it to where L would be in one of the death rooms trying to find the mastermind before he dies. But like on a one-on-one fight, like L's not winning this. Okay, so if we're talking one-on-one fight, it would be L's hand-to-hand combat versus Monokuma's just absolutely atrocious fighting style. Like, Monokuma can actually fight. So if they're going head-to-head and the robot explodes, I feel like Monokuma would win, but the reason isn't what you think it is. It isn't because he would just defeat L because L can't fight. We've seen L fight, right? With like his...
I mean, he kicked Light Yagami in the face twice, I think. That's
right.
about it.
So I'd say that he can at least kick. but Monokuma would kill him. But Monokuma would kill him just because of the swarm numbers. So that's why I'm kind of basing this on a more intellectual level, as opposed to fisticuffs, to where L just needs to shut Monokuma down, and that would be the end of the death battle.
Yeah, but I would say if this was like an actual battle to the death, like a fist fight or whatever, I think Monokuma wins this. I'm saying that he's comparable to Sakura from that series on many
when it comes
to
fighting, at least.
Yeah, I mean, apparently attack potency, building level, speed, supersonic can match Sakura in a fight. He has lifting strength 4. Monokuma can lift a van, so I don't know. That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna give this to Monokuma.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this to Monokuma. We won't spend much time on this one.
I'm giving this to Monokuma.
Okay, I will do the same because L stands no chance. All right, go ahead.
Okay, name me one of your favorite animes ever.
Why? Do you not have all your picks already?
No, I do. I just want to see if my next battle lines up. These are 2 of your favorite characters ever. I'm pretty sure. I just want to see name an anime you've recently watched you really enjoyed.
Little Witch Academia.
Name the one before that.
Since you know my favorite animes, I'm gonna say that one of them might be from Fairy Tail.
Okay, I'm just gonna Meliodas.
Oh, Seven Deadly Sins. And dang it, you took one of the characters I was going to use.
Wait, you were going to use Meliodas?
Yeah, but like I said, I have several backups. I don't have to use them.
Thank God I picked Meliodas before because I didn't have much backup.
Alright, so the Sin of Wrath versus who?
Hokage Naruto.
Oh, that's interesting.
Meliodas, obviously the leader of the 7 Deadly Sins, a very, very powerful fighter. I mean,
you make him mad.
Seen him, yeah, his demon form is absolutely insane. We see him destroy Holy Knights all over the place. Extremely fast, great sword fighter. Obviously, very powerful, well-rounded fighter all over the place.
And
Naruto,
if I may jump in on Meliodas here, and for at least for the most of the first season, he uses a broken sword, not because it got broken, but he used it by choice, because the legends say that if he uses a real blade with his power, he leaves no one alive in his wake. That is an actual legend from the actual show.
Definitely. And then Naruto, as a Hokage, we've recently seen him in Boruto, there was this one situation where Shikadai and Boruto were in big trouble, and Naruto just showed up and ended the situation in about 20 seconds. It was Naruto's on this level where he's the most powerful Hokage of all times with his relationship with QB. There's nothing that I think he can't do at this point. He's ridiculous. He's survived an attack that can blow up the moon and stuff. This is the one battle that I lined up that I'm pretty sure Naruto would win this no matter what. You cannot convince me otherwise. And if you try to, you just sound stupid. I feel that strongly about it. There's no way Hokage Naruto loses to Meliodas. Go ahead, sorry.
Especially if you take in consideration with everything that Naruto's done in his past, where he's taken down Haku just by someone who is a trained assassin took down dozens of Jonin. And
that's Genin level, bruh.
And that's Genin level. He took down Neji, who could very easily take down even some of the Jonin in the Leaf Village. And he did that when he was chakraless, practically. He also took down Gaara when he was in Shikaku form. And this is all with him as a kid. This isn't even him when he's teenager Shippuden age. This is him when he's starting. So all of that, plus everything that he experiences in Shippuden, plus everything that he does in the last in Boruto, Naruto has a ton of experience taking down a whole bunch of different baddies that are very highly powerful, very dangerous, and so does Meliodas, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to one-on-one fights, Naruto can always hold his own. There are some times where in Seven Deadly Sins, Meliodas will have to depend on the other sins to come and give him a hand, even though he's the captain. But he is still a very capable fighter, both ways. Both of them are. Both of them are completely able to annihilate basically anyone who stands in their way. But I'm gonna have to side with you, Jaden, and I'm gonna have to give this one to Naruto.
I don't think this one needs much for discussion. This is like one of those ones where it's like, yeah, it's pretty conclusive.
Well, I mean, fine.
Don't trigger me. Don't do it else. No, I'm kidding. But do you have anything else you want to add? Why would he win?
Because I say so, just to trigger you.
That's what I thought.
Oh wait, no. Then I must have said Black Star wins. My bad.
You only get one chance, dude. You blew it.
Worth it. All right,
your turn.
Am I up? All right, and you're either gonna love me or hate me for this one. I'm picking.
You already know I hate you.
I'm picking.
Go ahead.
I'm picking Sakura Haruno and Armin.
Okay, like, like what's the point?
This is
what are you trying to do here?
This is the
no. What?
No,
what?
Too bad. It's in the podcast, and I have reasoning. This is happening.
There's no reasoning. What? Like, do you know what show you're on? Like, this is not the piss off JaianMusic show. Like, this is like anime podcasters.
Exactly.
The logo.
Pissed
The
off.
logo is the same pod, and you're coming in here with Mr. The title from me, and Mrs. My biggest accomplishment in all the series is that I substituted jutsus a bunch of times.
Exactly. It's a death battle for the ages because no one would die.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you talk. Go ahead.
So, Armin. He whines. He complains. He never feels like he's doing enough. And he's right. He never is doing enough. He's always just getting in the way. He's always just whining for Mikasa or Armin to save him. He wants to get stronger but fails miserably. The guy has good leadership skills, but that's not really going to help you in a death battle. It is mano a mano. And if you're on your own and you're basically on the bottom of the barrel in the graduating class, that's bad. That's really bad. You have basically no chance on anyone coming if you're fighting completely alone and isolated with absolutely no help but backup. Sakura, on the other hand, even though Jaden calls her useless, which Generation 1, yeah, he's right. She's completely and utterly useless.
What did she do in Generation 2? Go ahead.
What, in Gen 1?
In Gen 2, Shippuden. What did Sakura do?
In Gen 2, she did learn medical ninjutsu to heal Naruto and heal the others, which medical ninjutsu is not easy to learn. But from Tsunade, she actually learned like how Tsunade uses her monster strength, for example. She knows how to use Tsunade's what is it called? Not Tetakuya Seal, that's Orochimaru. The healing jutsu that Tsunade uses.
I know what you're talking about. The one where she like stored all the chakra in her forehead.
And she uses it for like.
Yeah,
also,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she learned how to do that. She knows how to do that. And she also helped fight down Kagura with Naruto and Sasuke when Team 7 reformed. She's done a whole lot. She really has. But the problem is she's done a whole lot with her team. She hasn't really done a whole lot on her own. And that's honestly kind of why I'm picking these two together, because they're very heavily team based and heavily team reliable. When they're on their own, they can fight, they can do some stuff, I guess, but not nearly as much as they could do regardless. But if it had to be for a one-on-one, mano-a-mano fight to the death, I'm gonna have to give this one to Sakura. Because
for sure.
Once she gets a hold of Armin, all she needs is one solid punch, and all Armin's gonna do is cry for. I shouldn't have said that. All Sakura's.
You shouldn't have picked Sakura.
Well, fair enough. All Armin is gonna do is go Eren, and then splat, and that's battle over. Sakura wins.
And the jutsu you were referring to was Strength of 100 Seals.
That must be the directly translated version, because it was called something else over here.
Over here,
where I live, in Gingerville.
This is the next fight that I have. I am stuck on who would win this, but this is two main characters that I think would be interesting to see how they would go fight. And Morty, the Burp versus Morty, who would win?
Well, I mean, the Burp is Rick, obviously, so Rick.
All right, and now for my actual fight. Okay, but seriously, I would pick Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia versus Kirito from Sword Art Online.
You're completely on your own here.
You're completely on your own. Basically, Sword Art Online, Kirito, obviously, a very strong swordsman, and basically I would take obviously the online version where he's fighting in the game of Sword Art. He's obviously was able to fly. He has magic negation. He obviously is a very strong, very fast. And I mean, overall, like a pretty decent fighter. And then we have Deku from My Hero Academia. And he's a very strong fighter as well. His ability with One for All, passed down from All Might, is obviously something that's going to be key for him to try to win this. And he masters it much more in the newest season of My Hero Academia. Not the one that's coming out this year in April. The one that came out last year in 2017. We see him train with Gran Torino, and he improves a lot throughout the series, making me believe more towards Deku for this one. But I know you haven't watched any of these series, but from what I've described here, Hotshot, what do you think?
From what you've described, I mean, you've talked about this guy a number of times in All for One. That's what his power is, right? The All for One power.
Yeah, All for All.
One for All. That's it. Sorry. So I had the other part of that saying. From what you've said, basically, this power kind of makes him Superman with super strength, super speed, super durability, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that will give him a pretty big leap, because all Kirito does is, and even though I like the idea of Sword Art Online and I've seen some of the actual anime, I'm more of a fan of the game because, I mean, it's a giant game anyway, so why not experience it as one? But with Kirito, all of his skills are game-based, where, like, if he runs out of SP or if he runs out of magic, basically all he can do is, like, basic sword attacks from what I remember. So basically, what was the main character's name from Hero again?
Deku.
Deku, sorry. So if Deku is able to like dodge and weave through all more of Kirito's powerful attacks, as long as he doesn't have items, I'm pretty sure this one's going to go to Deku.
The thing that I should have mentioned about Deku is that he does master One for All a bit more, but like when he's fighting at some point in series, like if you punch with One for All, like you damage your hand, where like he decks a punch, and he, no pun intended, and sorry, why would deck a punch make me laugh? And he hurts himself. He can't use his arm anymore. He can't use his fist anymore if he like really fights hard. So what he would do, like in one of the fights in the tournament that he in the last season, is that he would use his fingers to like flick attacks, and whenever he would flick one, like he would break his finger off. So this is not something he hasn't mastered yet. I don't know. I feel like this is one where like Deku is strong, but so is Kirito. It would be very interesting to see where this one goes.
Honestly, yeah, my like true hard fact knowledge on both of these two is very limited. But I mean, I'd actually be interested to see this fight. I actually can't pick a winner from the knowledge that I have. I know I'd say I'd have to give it to Deku, but after you telling me that just now, I actually can't pick a winner now.
Yeah, so that's that.
Let us know in the comments who you think would win, Deku versus Kirito. And don't pick just because you're a hater. I'd actually want to read one of your guys' reasonings.
Well said.
Alright, and I think this is my final fight until we get to yours.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. In that case, I highly doubt that any of our listeners are going to be surprised, but this is probably one of the biggest, if not the absolute biggest, death battle request from the community, and that would honestly be Ruby Rose from Ruby versus Maka and Soul from Soul Eater.
Oh my god. I actually would love to see that. I would love to see that. I mean, I was reading up on Ruby earlier, and that was really awesome. And Maka and Soul are just totally an awesome duo. Go ahead.
So, I know I talked a lot about the Ruby universe before, but here's a little bit more because it's a new character. Ruby's semblance, unlike her sisters, is able to basically teleport at super speeds, where she can even use her sniper rifle slash scythe to go even faster. If she shoots behind her, she will basically disappear before your eyes into a little curl of red, which will leave rose petals, and all you can see is like her cloak and cape. And it's honestly kind of a hard thing to keep a beat on her. And up close, she uses a weapon called the Crescent Rose, which is a giant scythe, which she can even shoot sniper bullets for. Like if she does a spin attack, she can go fast. And she can fold it up into just a flat-out sniper rifle. And like I said earlier, she can load it up with dust shots that will give it a number of different effects, like the electricity one I told you about earlier, or a fire one that will actually set people on fire, ice that'll freeze them. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that she can do with her sniper rifle alone. So it's just kind of with her. There's a whole bunch of different moves that she can do for this. But when it comes to Soul and Maka, I feel like they're actually kind of at a disadvantage here.
An advantage or a disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Sorry. And why is that?
Because if Ruby loses her scythe, she can use her semblance to run back and get it like super fast. But if Mako loses Soul, one, she can't fight without Soul, so that would basically give her a wide opening, and she can only run at her normal speed to get him back. And two, they're completely dependent on each other. Like Mako will actually talk to Soul during the fights. Can you imagine something happen? Like, okay, imagine Soul was just a flat out weapon for a sec. Like any other weapon, do you think Soul would break?
Logically, yes.
Right, so if we apply that logic to this, what would happen if, like, Crescent Rose broke through Soul? Like, when he was in weapon form?
I think that you knock out the key factor of her potentially winning, her being Maka, leaving a Ruby victory.
Right, and the speed and the fact that and that Ruby is able to do this alone. Well, not even alone, but even from a distance. Like, say Ruby just, from the get-go of the fight, just dashes backwards and hides. She can pick Maka off with her sniper rifle. Because I don't think that you can only sense the soul energy of you and your partner, right? You can't really sense it with, like, tell where other people are.
Right.
So, if Ruby just gets out of sight and just goes with a sniper rifle, I'm pretty sure that Ruby would have this one unlocked just like that. But
that's a good point.
But I haven't even driven into Maka and Soul yet, have I?
A little bit you have. Like you were saying how if Ruby took out Soul.
Yeah, but I was still like giving like props to Ruby on that. But
right.
But Maka and Soul's powers, they have everything from Witch Hunter to Kishin Hunter, which is basically just an upgraded version of the attack. But the problem is those attacks only work on the corrupted. Like, they only work on people with evil souls or people with corrupted souls, Kishin souls, witch souls, stuff like that. Ruby has none of that. So, I'm pretty sure that doing, like, Kishin Hunter on Ruby wouldn't do anything. It would just be a straight-up fight.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So, with that in mind, if it was just a straight up like Scythe Master versus Scythe Master, Ruby has been doing this for literally years, and she's custom built her scythe. So I'm pretty sure it would have to go to Ruby.
Very interesting. I do think. The key part here is that obviously you can say it's a 2-on-1, and that would maybe lead people to believe that Maka would win. But that leaves room for weakness in the sense that if you take out Soul with Ruby, I think is overall a little bit more powerful. If you take out Soul, then it's game over, which is not impossible to do with Ruby's abilities. So I would have to lean towards a Ruby victory here.
Yeah, I can't really. I love Maka and Soul, and I love Soul Leader, but I love Ruby more, but I can't really give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna have to, like, strictly statistically speaking, I'm gonna have to go with Ruby.
All right, my turn. My final fight. Are you ready, Hotshot?
I'm ready.
All right.
Please
I am
disappoint me.
picking. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm picking Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul, and I'm also picking as his opponent Lelouch from Code Geass.
Yeah, you're completely on your own. I have nothing on these two.
You have never watched any of these
I've never
shows?
watched either of them.
All right, so Tokyo Ghoul Kaneki is a ghoul. He basically requires human flesh and blood to win, to fight, to survive. No, strictly survive. Sorry. And he is a very strong fighter. In the sense that basically he has superhuman physical characteristics. He's able to regenerate. He's a swordsman as well. I mean, we see it like he's not like a typical sword. What do I say? And then he's a pretty good hand-to-hand combatant. And then for his like, I would say for his attacking ability, can easily like break through a wall and survive that hit. The new season of Tokyo Ghoul coming out, and Lelouch also has more Code Geass coming out. So there's a lot, like these stories are not complete. So that's basically like a quick overview of him. In his stamina, he can fight like with broken bones and wounds. Like that's happened to him before. Like he does not give up that easily. So yeah, that's what I would say to cover Kaneki. When looking at Lelouch, this guy is more of a light Yagami type, in the sense that he's extremely intelligent. He has the power of Geass, and the power of Geass allows him, let's say I have Geass and I look Hotshot in the eyes, I can make Hotshot do anything. I could be like, I use my Geass, I look at Hotshot and I say, you will jump out that window, and then he will jump out the window, and that's it. But you can only use it once on the person. If you use Geass twice on the same person, it won't work a second time.
So it's basically a like upgraded / downgraded version of the Death Note. To where the Death Note can only kill, this can literally make you do anything as long as it's just a one-time thing.
Yes. So he basically can like control minds with his Geass. And then he also has access to his custom built a nightmare frame, being a robot that he can use, that he can like control. So the robot here has an absolute defense system, so force fields, stuff like that, and he also has another system where he can telecommunicate with other fighters, and so you have like you can shoot like a gun blast and stuff like that. So overall, very different fighters. So this is very tough for me to defer who would win. Kaneki is really intense. Like I feel like if Kaneki gets the jump on Lelouch's robot, like this could be something where the fight would be really interesting. Very hard to decide who would win with this one. But if Lelouch hits him with the Geass once, which Kaneki doesn't know what the Geass is, it would just happen. Probably Lelouch could make him commit suicide. You know what I mean? So it's very hard.
So who would you say you would have to give this one to then?
If I were to bet, I would say, because like if Kaneki like slashes Lelouch once, like across the neck, like Lelouch dies, right? But if Lelouch hits Kaneki with the Geass once, it's like a very circumstantial thing overall.
But doesn't it take concentration to hit with the Geass?
No, like you use the Geass, you look in, it's like a Itachi's Sharingan. If you look into Itachi's eye, you get caught in this Tsukuyomi. You look into Lelouch's eye while he's using Geass, you're done.
Okay, I'm going to have to give this one to Geass then.
To Lelouch? Okay.
Yeah, because if Itachi has taught me nothing, the only reason that when you don't look an enemy in the eyes when you're fighting, the only reason that you don't is because you know for a fact that they can do something with their eyes. If you go into that, and pun intended here, if you go into it blind, then you're not going to have any reason to not look them in the eyes while you're fighting. And if it just takes one quick look, then you're done.
Very, very much so. So that concludes my final fight. I'm going to have to give it to Lelouch. If I have to pick, I'll give it to Lelouch.
All right, fair enough.
Considering the fact he can have access to his robot from the get-go. Like, if he's not in his robot from the get-go, Kaneki could get the jump and just, you're done.
Okay. So you're still kind of wishy-washy on it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. All right, that concludes the death battles that we had. Did you have any honorable mentions? I have one honorable mention, but it's your turn. So give us your one honorable mention, and then we'll start closing it out.
All right, I have one honorable mention just because I'm curious. So I'm picking Vaughn from Gunnex Sword in his Golem versus I can never remember their name, but the main Gundam from Gurren Lagann.
Let me use my Hotshot quote here and say it. You're on your own here.
Really? No, you can't use my quote against me.
Too late. I just did Gios.
Well, they're honorable mentions. I'm not getting too deep into them.
Okay. Well, interesting. I don't know who would win in that. I've not dabbled in those universes too much. My honorable mention is Jiren from Dragon Ball Super. Do you know anything about Jiren, Hotshot?
Nope. Okay,
Jiren is basically the next bad guy that Goku is having the hardest time of his life to defeat right now.
So he's
in Dragon Ball Super.
So he's filler.
He's not. I wouldn't say filler. He's definitely he's above. He's definitely got a destruction level. It's this guy's ridiculously strong. It's Frieza tried to attack him, and Jiren looked at him and knocked him off. That's how this stupidly strong he is. Versus Saitama, because Saitama could just one punch him.
One punch.
So that is my honorable mention. Okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Anime Podcasters. Thank you very much, Hotshot, for joining me today. So let people know where they can find you online and your channel and everything. Go ahead, plug away.
You guys can go ahead and find me, Hotshot Ginger, at my YouTube channel name by the same name. And you guys can also find me on Twitter at Caution Ginger. And you guys, if you ever get tired of Jaden being the host and want to take my side, you guys can also find both of us on our other podcast, Cloud9, where I host, and that time Jaden has to do what I say.
It's I wouldn't say exactly that, but yeah, okay, sure.
I'm saying it because I think it's funny. Anyway, Jaden, go ahead.
No, I know. It's all for sure. Totally. Check out Cloud9. It's a podcast we do. It's really fun. Nerdy topics, not anime, always, once or twice. But just go check out Cloud9. It's a really fun podcast to do. Before I play my stuff, I want to give a huge shout out to at GoProkyo on Twitter. He does all the artwork for Anime Podcasters, so please go subscribe to him. Go follow him on Twitter. He's available for commission. Very cheap, very good artwork. Go check out GoProkyo and let him know I sent you there. And for myself, if you want more Anime Podcasters, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JaianMusic. And I have a bunch of covers and podcast coming out, so that's my channel is there. Go check all those things out. Always have new content for you guys. And my Twitter is at JaianMusic. My Facebook page is facebook.com/JaianMusic. And one last thing I wanted to plug. Yes. Okay. We do Anime Podcasters twice a month now. And the other episode we're going to be doing this month is going to be a Q&A where we're just going to answer all audience questions. So leave your anime questions in the comments. Tweet them at me. Whatever you got, let us know, and we'll answer them live on the podcast. It's always a really fun show, and we really go nuts with it. So leave us some questions, some anime questions. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We wish you an incredible evening, night, day, wherever you are. Thank you so much for supporting Anime Podcasters, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.
We love you. Bye.